Penny for your thoughts.
I hate Brenda, and a bad guy hit me in the shin, and I peed all in my pants.
Nothing a little music can't help. Rockin', rockin' and rollin'. Down to the beach I'm strolling. But the seagulls poke at my head, not fun. I said, seagulls, stop it now. Everyone told me not to stroll on that beach. Said seagulls gonna come, poke me in the coconut, and they did, and they did, had me going like, nothing I could do but yell when these birds attacked me. When I tried to run, I fell, and then these kids started laughing, and then got hit in the neck with a hacky sack. Where'd it come from? Now run, 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 jump. I can be a backpack while you run. Run, 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 jump. Can't stop, put me down. I love to groove and boogie. Yeah.
Great.
Show you some dance moves.
No, I don't want you to.
If I had your giant feet out there on the beach, could have outrun those birds.
You're a psycho wiener.
Let me grab my beater.
Stop it, please. Don't hit me. Please. Don't hit me.
Come on, man, quit that banging.
Hey, what's that stank?
You put a fish in our basket.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I did that.
You owe me an apology.
Just hold your breath and see when the time is right. Birds will back your face. Now run, 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 jump. I can be a backpack while you run. Swing from a hairy vine. I can be a backpack while you climb. Stand on one hand and lift rocks with your special gift. Run, 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 jump. Now breathe. That's good. Like that.
Black dress with the tights underneath. I got the breath of her last cigarette on my teeth. And she's an actress, but she ain't got no need. She's got money from her parents in a trust fund back east. Tongues always pressed to your cheeks, while my tongue is on the inside of some other girl's teeth. You tell your boyfriend if he says he's got beef that I'm a vegetarian and I ain't fucking scared of him.
She wants to touch me, woo. She wants to love me, woo. She'll never leave me, woo.
Don't trust her, never trust her. Won't trust her, won't trust me.
She wants to touch me, woo. She wants to love me, woo. She'll never leave me, woo.
Don't trust her, never trust her. Won't trust her, won't trust me.
She wants to touch me, woo. She wants to love me, woo. She'll never leave me, woo.
Don't trust her, never trust her. Won't trust her, won't trust me.
She wants to touch me, woo. She wants to love me, woo. She'll never leave me, woo.
Don't trust her, never trust her. Won't trust her, won't trust me.
Do not wear that outfit again. But if you wanna keep your spleen, because I want to fit in. Sorry, you're just not terribly important to me. Did you know that when you used to debut upbeat, her phone number 1 single song? Did you know that Christy, there are no girls with good personalities? I don't think we should see each other anymore. It never was supposed to be.
following program is rated TV-17, containing bad language.
You got knocked the fuck out, man!
Sexual situations.
Like, you gonna take your pants off instead?
Nudity.
Sure.
And graphic depictions of nut-crunching dick kicks.
Oh, I just had to kick you in the diddly again.
Parental discretion is advised.
What is going on, everybody? It is another Appreciating Comic Book Art live Tuesday at 10. Oh, excited. Man, what are you drinking? The fuck was that?
7-Up.
I think I got lightning going on out here. Storms rolling through. That's probably what that was.
0 sugar. 7-Up. 0 calories, too. Holy shit, I never knew that. Basically, it's just soda water, 7-Up.
Oh, there you go.
I don't
Yeah, I
feel
don't know if you,
bad now.
I don't know if you
I
guys
really
can hear
don't.
that thunder or not. That's Oh, sorry.
Why am I large? Don't
You were showing something. You were showing us, bringing up. No, I was just bringing up the storm. I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder or not. That's pretty loud, man. That's cool. First storm of the year. I'm digging it. Digging it.
I mean, I can't tell. We got the police outside here, so.
Well, that's never good. I got my wife in the chat. Look at that. She doesn't have my last name though. You need to change that on your YouTube account. So you make it Sonntag. But yeah, Mrs. Sonntag is in the house. Yes, it is thunder. That was pretty loud. I thought somebody was like running across the top of the floor up there. That's crazy. Man, it's crazy. If you guys noticed, Sean is not here with us tonight. He is having kind of a rough night. I'll just leave it at that. So he had to take the night off, but shout out to him. Hope he's feeling better, doing good, and I'm sure he'll be back in time for Art and Stuff on Thursday night, who will be having a MSK on. That'll be fun. He's a fun dude to talk to. Been on the show many times. I had a blast. Let's go to the chat real quick. We got here on the Steadfast member of the channel is here first. Number 1 in our hearts, number 1 in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. Hail the Lore is here as well. Hail, good to see you.
Hey.
Past Master Dan, how's it going, brother? Hope all is well. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. You got Mark Penguin here as well. You got D-Wag. Bah.
Oh, what's up,
Good to see you,
D-Wag?
man. Good to see you. It's been a second. Member of the channel, Cosmic Studios, is in the house as well. Good to see you, man. Member of the channel, Rick Sala. Look at that. What's up, bitches?
What's up, Rick?
What's up with you? Henry Bemis is here. Hail.
Henry.
Sheldon Martin, member of the channel, is here. Just soda water with a shit load of ingredients. Well, there you
This
go.
really doesn't have that many ingredients in it. It's carbonated water, citric acid, citrate, potassium.
Sheldon, you got her
benzoate,
very distracted.
which is a preservative, calcium, disodium, EDTA to protect flavor, natural flavors.
I don't know what any of this has,
Aspartame.
what is going on. What is
It's
what
not
is
a
happening?
shitload of ingredients.
I almost had to play this because you just went off.
so that I may talk. Squirrel! My master is good.
So there we go.
We can't help it.
I had to play it. Just rabbit hole. Sheldon, since you're here though, I didn't do this last night when we had Jimmy Palmiotti on. So I just wanted to keep the show talking about his stuff. Which, by the way, if you guys haven't seen that yet, talking to Jimmy Palmiotti was awesome last night on a special Otten stuff. Go check it out. Fun show. Had some great advice. Just super cool dude. I really enjoyed talking. It was one of our more favorite shows that we've done here lately. But Sheldon, I did want to show this off because Sheldon drew a picture of me.
Oh yeah.
And we all saw this a couple weeks ago. I think it was the birthday stream that we were doing, right? And he posted this online. So this became, it wasn't really inspiration at the time for Ronan and Joe because it hadn't really been, brought up or created yet. But he knew that we were getting this hat, or I was getting this hat. He just somehow knew, and he drew this awesome picture. And look, he sent me the original. This is badass. Like this really made me feel cool. I gotta say, when I saw this in person, this is just such a well done drawing. I love this. Thank you so much for sending this to me. I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot. Wait, before it gets ruined. All right.
What the heck?
I'm back. Here we go.
I'm gonna mute my phone.
Yeah, you should do that. You should do that. Oh, there you go. Yeah, see? Sheldon saying hello to my wife. Very nice of you. Thank you. You got Charles Rivas in the house. Hail to you. Good to see you. Fear Lantern. Hail, my friends. Peeps. What's going on? Michael. I
Desjardins.
Okay. I don't even want to try the last name because I know I'm going to mess it up and I feel horrible about it. But hail. Good to see you. Statistical Zeros in the house.
Yeah. Hey, Stat.
Good to see you. Who else we got here? Time Scales, member of the channel. Greetings from San Francisco. Greetings to you. Hope all is well.
Scales is great.
Ronan Joe is my new favorite concept. It is pretty cool. I gotta say. I'm not gonna lie. It's a pretty cool thing.
I'm stealing it.
Well, don't steal it just yet. Don't. I need to draw a picture. I need.
You need to draw yourself.
Well, character based on me, right? Wiley J drew that design after the show that was really cool. But I feel like I want to take a crack at it, So
how long's your hair gonna be?
Should I give myself like the old samurai hair? Because I'm shaved head now, right? But before I used to have very long hair, so maybe I'll do that. It's just more dramatic, right? With the long hair, we'll do that.
Put a giant braid.
Yeah, no, it was awesome to get. It was fun to receive. Oh man, appreciate it. All right, we're gonna jump into this. So, two weeks ago, I took the week off last week because I went and saw Pantera. By the way, which was awesome. So it's been 2 weeks since we did this. We started out the last show was called 2 Nights of Joe Mad, Battle Chasers Part 1. This is Battle Chasers Part 2. We're gonna be looking at issues 5 through 9. And this was all that was done of the series until recently, the last year or so. They restarted it up, but not with Joe Mad's art. So this is kind of looking over the original issues 1 through 9 of Joe Mad's art. If you didn't check out the first show, go check it out. See the first 4 issues. We're gonna roll here with the next 5 and get this going. No, there you go. That's what I was saying. Like, yeah, like the
samurai bun wig.
Yeah,
I can probably find one at the hair supply store. I probably can. You can keratin bond it onto yourself. Your wife can help.
Geez. Well, we'll see. The chat wants it. Hail Lord said, I've seen Joe with long hair. Kayla needs to step it up. There you go. I don't know what you need to step up, but
I don't know what I need to step up either. My hair is kind of long. I mean, I cut it recently, but
yeah, my hair was probably about that long, maybe a little bit longer at its longest, I guess. So you're jumping into issue 5 here, which, by the way, going back over this series again and just doing these videos was so cool. Like, this is such a great fantasy comic. And I'm surprised I didn't get more into it at the time. I really am. Like, I was just really enjoying this. I mean, the masterful art, the storytelling in this is amazing as far as just like how he paces the comic, how he frames scenes, how he makes them dramatic. It's just such inspiration. Honestly, this is awesome.
The textures on everything. Liquid Studios is doing the coloring in this one as well
Yep.
again, right? Yeah. Liquid did the whole thing. I know I believe it's in issues 6 and 7. The backstory was done by a different artist.
Yes, yeah. I didn't really
Mhm.
I kind of flipped through it on the video, so you guys will see it. I didn't spend a lot of time on it because it is very more manga, I guess you could say,
Mhm.
even more than this. Like the westernized, stylized version. And it wasn't Joe Mod, so I'm like, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it, but we flipped through it a little bit. Oh, it's thunder again. I don't know if you
The
guys can hear
eyes.
that.
I love the way that he does eyes. And the faces are so good on him because they're so expressive.
Yeah, he does a really good job with expression. Yeah, showing emotion very well. I wonder if that helps with like I wonder if that's easier with the manga style because you can play with those big eyes, especially on women and kids. Those big eyes are really utilized for emotion and everything.
I think it depends on the story with manga because a lot of the characters have that similar eye shape. That's what makes the manga style,
Yeah.
recognizable.
Oh,
But
absolutely. Yeah. That and the
I,
noses are usually
yeah,
pretty pointy.
pointy for the most part. That creature design is incredible.
Okay, let
The
me back
veins
up.
on the neck and we go back over to the left. Yes.
Pause.
It's
Pause.
so cool.
Yeah. This is what
Look at the
there's
striation of the muscles here.
yeah,
And
the
just
exaggeration of everything he does in his style, I absolutely love. Like just go overboard with stuff like that. Just throw those muscles in, the veins in the neck. It just makes it look. His character reminds me a little of that character in Legend. What was the Satan character? The devil character.
oh, the one that Tim Carey
Yeah, yeah, Tim Carrey's
Carey
character. Yeah,
played.
yeah. It kind
Tim
of reminds me
Carey.
a little bit of that. Yeah,
Yeah, he
fantastic though. I
essentially
love
was
it.
like Satan. It does. The design does look like that. Yeah, it's all all
Yeah,
tendons.
I love it. Love it.
So Henry just said the eyes are what makes his art immediately recognizable, and I think that's true for a lot of artists in general. I will say,
True, true. I can see
yeah,
that.
most of the emotion in the face, and Stat saying emotion is all in the eyebrows. He thinks it's
I
it's
mean, yeah,
actually like what
for sure.
people really pay attention to. It's eyebrows, eyes, nose, and mouth. It's like a certain what they can do with this, especially the mouth and the eyes in general. And the eyes, it's not just like the eyes, but the eyebrows too. It's not limited to. But
I think it's
nose is
sometimes.
also too.
I think sometimes the more cartoony stuff that you can do, you can get way better expressions. Like obviously, this is more of a stylized anime manga version. The Joe Mao's art was so it's very there's cartoony elements right to the
Mhm.
faces, and I think it allows to really get to those crazy expressions, the over exaggerated evil smiles, or just
Look at the skin.
yeah, like
Peeling
I
on
don't even
the
know what
old
was going on in that scene. Yeah, it's like pulling off his face or pulling off a
it's
mask or something. I can't remember. I didn't read it.
it's just I think it's basically to show his age that his skin is that stretchy.
Oh shit, if that's the case, damn.
In an aspect, I think that's what it is. I don't think he was pulling a mask off of him. I couldn't tell. I haven't read this in a long time.
No, I kind of wanted to go through it and actually read it because I was enjoying just the journey of looking at it, and I probably never read this all the way through, word for word. You know me,
The
but I didn't
silhouette.
need to. I mean, the art was just so amazing that it really just carried me through the story. Like enough of that I was satisfied without having to actually go and read every single word. Sheldon Martin says eyes, mouth, nips, butt, brows, not in that order. I feel you. I
I
feel
love
you.
that moon panel with that silhouette there. That is gorgeous.
Yeah. There's
I love
a lot of work that I think that Liquid might have done in the background that might not have been drawn there. Like that moon could have
Mhm.
been something that was the colorist put in there, or it could have been drawn. Who knows? But just working with a colorist like Liquid or that group can do wonders for the backgrounds. And there's a few things, and if I remember, I'll point them out later on in some of these. Garrison. That's just a cool name for a
Mhm.
character. Yeah, I'm surprised they never made a live action adaptation of this or something. I don't know if I mentioned that last time we streamed, but I feel like especially nowadays, the this would be like the perfect live action adaptation of something if they did it right. You know, they probably mess it up because it's Hollywood, but
It would have to be a show first, but then ultimately could lead into a movie, I feel like. But yeah, it would be interesting. I mean, Garrison there, that sword is a sword that's based off of the Thundercats sword of omens.
oh, I can see it now. Now you mention it.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. I can definitely see that. Like this fight sequence is just awesome. I love how he's showing impact without actually showing a fist hit a face or anything. Just a little bit of the speed effects and everything that you're seeing the aftermath of him kind of hitting the dude and not really being phased by it.
I definitely feel like I can tell why he went and left to go work on video games.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
So it definitely his art style is a combination between like manga American comics and like arcade games.
Yeah. Yeah. Like what's that arcade? Fuck, Sean would know it if he was here. Capcom?
Capcom. He
Yeah,
ended
yeah.
up, I think, doing something with Capcom at some point.
I could definitely see it because that's absolutely reminds. There's a lot of the stuff in here that reminds me. You ever see the Street Fighter 2 carts, the anime Street Fighter 2?
Yes, I have.
I love the anime. It's fantastic. A lot of the stuff that Mad does reminds me a little bit of that anime, just like some of the style, artistically, choices, faces, construction of the of muscles. Darkstalkers was that the video game?
Darkstalkers is a video game, yes.
Okay, that must have been the one that they're talking. I know they did a Battle Chasers video game. Video games is not my expertise, guys, so I don't know a lot about that, I'll be honest.
Darksiders, I think, was Darkstalkers. I think it's Darksiders.
Yeah. Dark Side. I mean, it all sounds cool. I love the sequence here, the sword opening up. And this is what I'm talking about with storytelling that he does in this book. He does a lot of scenes here where you could spend like maybe just one panel if you wanted to, showing the impact of a sword opening up with sound effects. But he, dramatized.
You were right
Whatever
too, right?
whatever
were
that
right.
word is. He adds more drama to it by the beats. The story beats there. And a lot of this stuff I could see as possibly storyboards for an animation or for a movie. I mean, that's how he kind of draws it. That's how it reads. Very cinematic, very dramatic. Darksiders. Okay.
Darksiders, yeah, that's it. All right, I was right. I
Okay.
love the
Gotcha.
silhouetting.
Well, that was one thing we talked about in the first 4 issues, right? Like the amount of silhouettes and blacks he will use. It really just it works. It just really does. It's almost like we laugh, but there's almost like a rule: put a silhouette in every single page.
Mm-hmm.
Like that 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever panel it is where the devil is holding that chick. Like that's an awesome. It's an awesome pose right there, especially with the light the shadow's so heavy over his face and everything. It just really makes it that stand. It's just such an awesome shot.
The circular panels are really cool that are dropped in there. Those circular inset panels.
Yeah. His paneling in this series is really really inspiring. Like there's a lot of stuff that I really really enjoy that he does. Kind of reminds me a little bit of kind of like what Brett Booth would do in certain styles. And I don't know, maybe that comes from a more of a manga background. I'm not sure. I don't read enough to
It's very Art
to really
Adams.
compare it.
Long shot.
Art Adams.
Very Art Adams stuff, which Art Adams was one of Joe Mad's like biggest inspirations, and I see it in a lot of his work.
Especially his early stuff.
Mhm.
The Deadpool run. Definitely had some Adams isms to him. Got Silver Ogre in the house. Good to see you.
I had
I
to
don't know if
say
I said
too,
that
like,
earlier.
the words that were on that no panel and how it was going down the letterer did such a great job, and that added so much to that.
Let me
feel
back
of
it up
that.
just-
Oh, you don't have to. But
Okay,
it's
well, I
like,
just wanted to
okay. If you go back, it's like back one more page.
one more page. I want people to know what you're talking about.
All right, so see this where it's like no or whatever it is. up at the top on the
Oh,
right hand corner.
okay.
Yes.
Here we go.
All right.
All right.
That adds so much to the feel when you are reading this as a reader. I feel like it just added more of a tone to this book where it could have just been like a plain note.
Yeah,
It just
absolutely.
moves with the artwork. It makes you look down, and then what it does with your eyes, where your eyes go to. So you're looking down, that perspective, it just worked beautifully. And then you're like ping-ponging, and then it fits beautifully. It makes my eyes very happy. And I think it
Yeah, no, I
adds
agree.
more of a feeling to the story. So
Yeah, no, I agree. Great letterers. I mean, everything about a comic book to make a comic book great goes all the way down to the letter. You know, a great letterer will be able to do stuff like that. And they're telling a story with the way that they letter.
I don't think a lot of people realize that lettering is an art form of its own.
The Core 20's in the house. C20.
Finally,
Howdy, you guys. Good to see you all. Thank you for
Field
being
Core 20.
here. I think if you want to be good at something when it comes to comics, whether it's colors, lettering, whatever, you have to be a storyteller. Colorists have to be a storyteller. You know, they have to invoke the emotion and set the scenes and help tell the story with their colors. Letterers do the same thing. When everything works together, you're gonna have a really just pleasing looking comic that just, like I said, it's gonna be pleasing to the eyes.
That hand looks crazy.
Yeah, it's a I noticed that too. I'm like,
corroded, and it almost looks like rubber.
yeah, it's a interesting way of drawing it. Like, I'm not sure what's exactly going on in the scene that he's doing it, but it's very distorted, very cool.
It's cool. Sorry.
I'm gonna say this. I like the credits page here. Sometimes I like just a plain black page. I think works pretty good, but also like fitting in a panel. That could be the biggest thing I've ever seen you eat on stream.
No, it's only like a 6-inch sub.
It's like a sub. Yeah, eating a sub. Yeah,
I'm
you're just like, ugh, you. Anyway, panel page. I like it. Good design. Just gives me a good feel. Absolutely. So a good letter, a great letter, good letter is going to make it just all feel even more, real, like more like a real comic when you're reading it. A bad letter is going to throw everything off. And that's, as in anything, get the best out there that you can if you want to make a good looking product. I didn't know if I said it earlier, but Mega Man is in the house. Tacos. We forgot to do Taco Tuesdays. See, Sean's not here, and I got all thrown off what we're doing.
All right. It's all good.
Yeah. Taco Tuesday, everybody. If you can, we didn't do the music. I'll drop tacos in the chat. Let's go. Tacos.
Well, you can drop a sub because that's what I'm eating right now.
That makes no sense. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's see some tacos in the chat for Taco Tuesday, everybody.
All right,
let's go.
This here, wow, pure fantasy. I love this.
So do I. I gotta say, so I've gotten more into fantasy over the years, and maybe I always did kind of get into fantasy. I didn't really realize it was fantasy at the time because I'm just so in love with the art. But going over this series again, like I was really intrigued with the world, the fantasy elements of it, just very inspirational. There were a lot of things that got my wheels turning.
Well, this whole book is fantasy. That's what this comic is. Battle Chasers is a fantasy comic.
Yeah.
Red Monica. I love that they the silhouette across her eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting silhouette there. There's actually a lot of his pages have a lot of panels. We're talking about getting up to 10 to 11 panels because he does a lot of these smaller rectangle panels, vertical panels also, and just he crams a lot of stuff in. And it's really interesting. I've always kind of shied away as an artist myself telling the story, shied away of doing too many panels on a page because I think things can get too much. But I guess done in a really good way. Oh man, I love this page. Done in a really good way. It really helps the storytelling. You can actually fit so much more into a scene. I'm going to try to improve that as I go as a creator. This, I was just in awe. Like, there's something about this scene, just a slow pull back of the camera of this ominous, badass character design, just
Okay.
pulling, just cinematic. So well done, dramatic.
Yeah, that's great. I love the cape movement there on that third panel on the left-hand side. And I also like how he used the area around him, the surroundings, to frame him.
Yes,
You
yeah,
look at how the rocks are shaped and everything. It was very smart because it draws your eyes right to the center of that character where his full reveal is.
There is so much about his storytelling that is just very smooth. Like, he does a great job leading your eye through the page the way you should, and you do that with a lot of different things. I mean, on this page specifically, Red Monica, we're following her. The next panel, the guy is looking in the direction that's meant to push your eyes, and you can go right up and go right down with these 3 panels right there. She's pushing you back this way with the way she's pointing the gun, which brings you right back down to the next panel. And just, there's so many examples of that throughout this entire book. It's very impressive. Just simple, easy to follow storytelling. Sometimes that's hard to do, I guess. I mean,
I
don't know.
think so.
I try to do it as much as possible, make things easy. If you want the reader to go in a certain direction, point that way, or leave some kind of debris, or do something that's going to pull their eye in that direction. Yeah, it's just a sick looking character. The character designs in this book is awesome too. If all manga could look like this, and this is me slowly trying to get into more manga and all this kind of stuff. But if more stuff looked like Joe Mad's version of things, I would have read more manga in the past, hands down. Because it still captures the anime manga elements I like in his style, as opposed to some of the other stuff I've seen. I'm slowly getting there, to the dismay of some, I'll say.
You would honestly, if it's stuff like this, I mean, a lot of, what could I even compare this to be honest? That is so cool.
That stuff. Yeah, that was like the backup. So I can't remember who the artist was.
Yeah, but that was actually really cool. And you didn't show that. Did you see the creature design? Wow. So the backups that were done in number 6, I think it was Adam Warren, but
yes, yep.
Yeah, but the creature design right there is so freaking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Wolf and Bear in the house.
Joe Mad, we're going past it.
Well, the show's about Joe Mad. You know what I'm saying? I gotta keep on track here. Keep on subject.
I believe he wrote it though.
He probably did. I honestly didn't look at it that much.
Yeah, or it was Munir Sharif. I can't remember, but I know Joe Mad wrote the majority of this.
Yeah, I'd have to pull the comics out of the bags and boards. Got Jeff in the house. Says Joe Mad is sick, constantly increasing his skills. He needs to come back and do some drawing, like some actual sequential drawing. This is what I want to see. That I would have been all on board of picking up Battle Chasers 10 when it came out if he was the one drawing the interiors, as opposed to somebody else. No offense to anybody else, but like this, there are certain artists that create a world, and you want to see their art on it. That's it. Some of the stuff we're going to get into right now is just fantastically gorgeous. The character designs, creature designs, the colors in this book is amazing. Again, it's liquid. I mean, how can it not be? I just love these creature designs, though.
Yes.
That snake is just sick.
Everything is incredible. So this is... Sorry, hold on. I'm fixing myself here.
You doing what? Doing what now?
I'm fixing myself. I had to put back on my lip gloss because it was half off. I had to wipe all the oil off of my face, and I had mayonnaise on the side of my cheek and everything. Didn't realize. Would have kept screaming like that. So.
Are you good now?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay. All right. Snake.
To me, this is almost Disney-ish. It's almost Disney-ish in a way. It's like he took Disney designs and it's that cartoony feel from a Disney cartoon, but on crack.
Yeah.
I can't explain it.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. I could definitely see that. And it has that elements, and then also has like just the detail and just the like some of the stuff is just fantastic. Everything in the series is great. Don't get me wrong, but there are certain things that he does where he just draws the hell out of it, and it just looks amazing. And this series, this whatever this opening is of issue, what are we on 7 here?
7.
Yeah, I just love this so much. The storytelling is great. The character, the creature designs, amazing. The textures.
That are used.
Who was it?
Who are you thinking of?
McQueenie? The inks? McQueenie?
McQueenie, I think it was.
Yeah.
But I don't know for what issues.
He did them all.
He did 1 through 7.
He did have some assistants at the end. Scott Williams and some other people jumped in. I think
Scott
at
Williams
8
did.
and 9. Yeah.
I think Joe Mad did issue 9. He inked issue 9.
There was he started, and I'll point it out when we get there, but there are some pages where you can start to see where he went straight from his pencils.
Or is Jason
right to
Martin.
colors.
7th.
Yeah, so he definitely had some help. But McQueenie did most of the inks in the first 4, 5, 6, and then he had some help. But he was the guy listed on the covers. But still, it was a good combination. I like how they meshed together. I just love the snake coil though. Texture is great, and a lot of that comes from the colors as well.
Gorgeous. I wonder though, this is a book I would be curious to see in black and white.
Oh, I'd love to see it in black and white. Yeah.
Because for some reason, I feel like there's maybe a little bit more detail than we catch. That
There could
first
be.
silhouette at the top too was so unique, and it was amazing. So
I'd like to see this in pencil as well, because I'm sure Joe did tight pencils, and then McQueenie went over and inked it. So I would love to see a black and white version of this and just a straight pencil version of this as well.
if you look closely at the snake, I mean, yes, we can see the color there, but I don't think that's all color, to be honest, because I can see little outlines of littler lines around it, even like down into the mouth and the sides of the jaw, around the eye, the scaling. Yeah, the teeth are crazy on that snake.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very well done. A lot of nice details there.
Even the lines down here on this face or whatever that creature thing is.
Yeah, it's some kind of fucked up face there.
I love that. That's an anime smile. That's like an evil anime. Evil manga. Like,
Wait, go back to the start. Hail, J. Ryan. Good to see you. Just go back and double time it. Go back to the beginning, hit 2x, and eventually you'll catch up with us.
Gully really looks like the coolest Pokemon trainer ever. I'm just saying, like.
I don't know what that looks like, but I'll take your word for it.
She just
Pokemon missed me by a few years.
I grew up in the Pokemon generation, so that's just kind of just me. She makes me think of like a Pokemon trainer for some reason.
I will take your word for it. Absolutely.
It's interesting though, because he goes from this really cartoony style, and then there's a little bit of realism in it too. Like when we look at some of the characters on the other page or certain characters, it seems possibly, I don't know if it's the more serious the character is. It has to do with the character. I can't explain it. It's basically how he's showing the personalities.
Yeah, that absolutely might be it, because certain faces get a little bit more realism. Others are a little bit more cartoony. Yeah, expression, all that. I think we've seen Philip Tan do that too, like kind of like with the Ronin stuff, like how he kind of bounces back and forth with different stuff depending on whatever scene was. I love this. The page layout, the colors, the action on this is just fantastic. I found myself like really just pulled into this book when I was doing the video for the entire series.
Look at this. This is insane. I love the way that he makes of use of pretty much like like this, how he made use of this whole panel and how the movement is and how he shapes everything about where he wants to draw your eye to.
Yeah.
So where does your eye go to in this panel here? The one we zoomed in.
Well, my eye goes in a few different places and it takes me all the way through the panel, right? So if you start at the top of the panel with the glue gloves, is that what
Mhm.
you're saying? Glue gloves? Whatever
Gloves.
that okay. And that will pull me through the panel. The action of him kind of thrusting or holding this dude out, pulls me out here. And then it kind of curves back, and the motion of the word bubble and all these horses pull me back in the other direction, which puts me
Mhm.
perfectly on top of the next panel to go into.
Yes.
Masterful storytelling. Just lead the
It's
eye right through the panel. So not only do you do it through the page in that backwards Z, but you also do it right through the panel, just on point, and it's seamless, and it's smooth, and it like you said, it's pleasing to the eye.
absolutely. And a lot of people, I feel like, well, you know who's really great at doing that? Rocafort.
Oh,
Is
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that dude's
he
just great
has
at
everything.
everything. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Like in his Groken books, especially, he's so great with drawing you through. Oliver LeDroit is another one that's great at doing that as well with his amount of detail. Art Adams does it, of course. I'm going to bring up Art Adams
Adams.
50,000 times.
I try
But
to do it as best as I can. I'm very conscious when I get into panels and how I can try to lead the reader through a panel.
no, I think you're going to be great at that, and I think people are going to be really happy when they see your book. So
Got Ellie in the house. Hell, good to see you.
I feel
Good
like
to
that's
see you.
part of your house style.
Yeah, I think
Now,
it's
this
just
almost reminds me of Berserk.
specifically like the face up on the right.
Garrison there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can see that. Yeah, from just that little bit of that Berserk omnibus that you sent me, I can definitely see that.
Hmm.
Absolutely, great lighting in that page too. Jeff said, all right, let me pause this a lot to read.
Oh, I
The
can read it.
moment, okay, go for it.
The moment that made me want to draw was this comic book when Gully is in front of the snake monster and the snake slash monster is behind her and she's semi looking back. Wow.
Oh yeah,
Blew my mind. Wish I could own the original.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No, that's a great scene. Um, yeah, I've got 1 through 9. I don't have like all the different covers and or I think all of them are first printings except for one is a second printing. But yeah, I mean you can
that
jump on eBay. A lot of people have them. You can
so
find them if you really
gorgeous.
want to.
That bottom panel on the
Bring it
left
back
hand
up.
side was just absolutely gorgeous. You didn't zoom in on it or anything, but I'm a big fan of the moon and just how the character is
Mm. Oh, right there where he's tossing the chest
proportioned there.
backwards.
Yeah, how the chest is moving, just the look in the character's face there. He looks more solemn in that shot than where he's shown other places in this
Yeah,
story. Just the draping on his clothes. Overall, it's just an absolutely gorgeous book. And I think
it's
Joe Mad doesn't get the credit that he really deserves as an artist, in my opinion. Um, which is I don't hear enough people
It's
talk
probably
about
because he had a short career. Like people that knew him and knew his stuff when it came out and experienced that throughout the 90s and early 2000s and all that. I think hold him in a high regard. Everybody I know when you bring up his name is I don't think I've ever heard anybody say they haven't liked his art or haven't been inspired by it. Even me, that's not this kind of style, was inspired by Joe Mad when he was out. But he had such a short career. When you think of it in the grand scheme of things, it's easy to get lost in the annals of time when that happens.
I mean, there are plenty of comic artists that had actually short careers. Steranko.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Steranko basically, he's Steranko. So,
I mean, Joe Quesada. We were talking about
yeah.
Jimmy Palmiotti last night. When you think about it, Joe's drawing career was actually fairly short. He had a lot lasting impact, obviously, in everything he did, but the actual art that he put down was a short period of time. They did it.
Even Frank Frazetta, really, if you think about like stuff that Frank Frazetta had done within comics, it's not much.
Yeah.
And
This
he's
page on the
had
right, I don't know if I zoom in or not, but the color is just awesome. These like little fairy characters. Okay, I did zoom in on that spot because I really love that silhouette.
Yes. And I love the eyes. It's just showing such a childlike innocence with this character. It's beautiful. It's really conveying like such an innocent tone.
Yeah.
So
Henry Beamer says Joe Mad is one of those artists that influences other artists, some with Michael Golden and Art. Same with Michael Golden and Art Adams. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, here we go. Here's
that is fucking
beautifulness.
cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pause this for a second because I do go slow, but I want to just pause that for a second right there.
The
Just
perspective.
yes.
I'm so glad you paused that just like that. This page looks like it's coming at you completely.
Mhm.
Even though it's like an upward perspective, it's just the way that everything is curved downwards. I mean, really just masterful. It's done masterfully.
Some of the scale he does on in this series is great with some of the fights and these bigger, like I don't know if you I don't know if necessarily know you call them kaijus or anything, but these bigger character designs, he really kind of shows the mass of the character, the height of it, just the power. Just so well. Like I was literally blown. This is why I love doing this show and a chance to go back and look at some of these old books I haven't looked at in a while and just kind of re-experience it. Everything from this page, from just that awesome first panel, then down here to the motion and impact of this second panel down here. You know, just man, you can feel that. You know, like that's what I love about comic book art. You can feel the impact in this panel.
Just beautiful work. It's almost Giegerish a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, yeah.
And the colors, the colors, geez, liquid.
They were
God
something else.
damn.
Yeah, they were something else. I've not seen a single book that Liquid has done. I haven't been absolutely blown away with very rich colors. The palettes are amazing. You know, they have a very dynamic palette. I love how they stage different scenes to show intensity, fear, emotion, you know, all that kind of stuff. Just fantastic.
The shape of the smoke that he is playing with on the top panel there, and then leading
back
into
up.
the right side of that left panel, even down to the bottom.
Yes.
Look at the shape that he's playing with the smoke to make
Mhm.
impact, and then what he is doing with the lines that are there, those speed lines.
Yeah, I love that.
It's
I love the energy that he's
insane.
created with just the
So much
lines.
energy. Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Again, it was very inspiring. There's a lot of stuff that, again, is not my style, right? Because I'm just a different style than Joe Mad, but just seeing the way he draws certain things, some of the ways that he creates energy and impacts and whatnot, like it really was inspiring looking at some of this stuff. And I'm sure I'm taking mental notes and in the library there for when it comes to the next time I'm drawing issue 2 of Reaper Destroyer, which will be coming out or launching hopefully first half of this year.
It's definitely like, this is like Dragon Ball in color. But I don't know if this, see the lines on how like
the speed lines, yeah.
But like I don't know, it doesn't look as good on my camera as it does like in my hand. But
I think we can get a feel of it though. Yeah, we can definitely see.
And this is in color too. This one, usually this is in black and white, the original. But I mean, a lot of stuff, it's just the way that movement is conveyed here.
Yes. Yeah, manga is really good at that kind of style. That's
the action.
And again, there was a huge influence on the Western style in the late 80s, early 90s. That's why you get a lot of the comic book styles you have today, because a lot of the guys brought in elements of that and put it into their style and started bringing, you know, really exaggerating the stuff. And I think that's what really when comic book art took a leap, in my opinion. You know, late 80s, early 90s, there was a big leap in the way that you drew action, all that speed lines, just paneling, you know, the way you panel a page got more interesting.
The debris looks amazing too, and all of the detail that's in the debris. I'm really curious to see. I'm very curious to see what this book would look like without color. And see right there, see all the lines there and how that blast is. It's very reminiscent of manga.
Oh yeah, hands down. Like I said, if manga looked like this, and granted, I'm not saying it doesn't, because there's a lot of elements of it, right? But I'm just saying if this Joe Mad manga Western mesh hybrid style was more prevalent in manga, I would have been a huge fan of manga a long time ago. And I know there's some stuff that does look like this, but yeah, this is just beautiful for a fantasy comic, for the, you know, for no superhero stuff. This is just straight fantasy, which I do love, you know, more so in cinema than in comics. But this is the kind of thing that really pulled me into this story. I was really happy going over this.
so much detail.
No, I
And
agree,
see,
Mike.
I think the
I agree.
color is kind of covering up some of the detail in there.
I bet it is. I
I
mean,
love. Sorry.
color's going to knock out certain stuff no matter what, especially in this time. I mean, the colors, lightning. Hell yeah. Colors during this time are really starting to really just kind of hit their stride. Hold on a second.
I can't get over this panel here.
Jeez, it's coming down out there.
On the right-hand
might be
page that
hail.
you're at, the left-hand panel that is at the top of what you're showing right now, where that shard of glass or whatever that is that's coming at, and then
Yeah, I think they're
I
arrows.
think those are
Yeah.
arrows. Yeah, no, it's an arrowhead. Sorry.
Yeah.
That just looks so fucking cool.
Again, the
This-
scale of it, like it's
The proportions are
awesome.
absolutely gorgeous. I mean, he really knows how to
Nope.
utilize everything
Dropped it again.
and
Clumsy.
its proportions. And the folds on the clothing are great too. The way that he designs armor is amazing.
I was just gonna say, yeah, the armor is very fun to look at. This book and Soul Saga remind me a lot of each other. Inspired, probably I'm sure Platt was inspired by this. The way that the characters are formed, like how the bodies stand, they're very heroic,
Mhm.
very wide, small waists,
Very masculine.
very masculine. But that's what reminds me of the Street Fighter stuff, like the anime stuff. And sometimes that body style, it really works in comics. Just exaggerate the broadness of the shoulders. Silver Ogre said, I also think the 2011 Thundercats reminds me of Mad. Interesting. I'll have to check that out.
No, this makes me think of Capullo for some reason.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, I can see it.
Almost Lovecraftian in a way.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
That is a very like Cthulhu-esque character in the back somewhat. It kind of makes me think like if Lovecraft had a baby with like early Capullo work.
Yeah, I just love that so much.
I like what he does with like the skin and the teeth.
Lots of cool detail, lots of cool expressions, individual aspects of each character. Has its own element to him. To be continued. I like that.
I know definitely like Humberto Ramos had to be very much inspired by Joe Mad.
Oh, I could see that, yeah. I mean, when you saw Mad come out, you saw a ton of styles jump up. And I'm not saying they all copied Mad or anything, but you saw a lot of this style really pop up in the late 90s, early 2000s of guys that all kind of had this, was it Jeff Matsuda also had the very cool style like this. It was fantastic. But like, who was it that said it? Mike. He said that Joe brought manga to the mainstream, and I think he really did. He brought that feel, that flavor, and a lot of people just jumped on it because it was different than anything we were seeing at the time in main or in like American comics, in my opinion. This book is mine. Like it.
I love this.
I love this. Yeah,
This is pure fantasy.
It's so good. So
This is
good.
pure fantasy. This is absolutely gorgeous. This sets the tone right away for the story. Like when I open up a book and I see something like this, it sets a heavy tone and it really captivates me. Also because of the silhouetting, there's an air of mystery to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm so drawn in, and I want to know more about the surroundings where they are. Are they in nature? Is he walking through bones? Is he wherever the case?
Yeah.
Obviously, I've seen this, so I know what the deal is. But
Right. Yeah.
had I never read this before and opened this up.
It's a
So,
beautifully staged shot. The perspective is great. Where the camera is placed. You can almost like look up and here you see the bones or whatever, and then just your focus is there. The sunburst or the flare, what's that called? Light flare. I think is really good.
the vines.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
It's growing. It's just
it's beautiful.
I mean, Joe Mad is a master of perspective. I don't think I've ever really appreciated it or noticed it until we going through these.
Yeah, I agree with that. And again, I think it's one of the cool things about doing this show is just going back and really taking a second to look at the pages of these older books or just, whatever we end up choosing. Because there's so many times where I think when you read a comic book, you're reading, you're going along at a pace, right? You don't always get to sit back and enjoy these panels and see the world that is being drawn there unless you really go back and look at it. So a show like this I love this. I love doing this.
I mean, I was a
And
kid
again,
when I read
scene. Look at the scene. I'm sorry, what did you say?
I was a kid when this came out.
Oh, that's true.
I was a child, And this book was kind of all ages, despite Red Monica's sexiness and some of the
true.
backstory that was hinted. It was definitely stuff I could get over my head.
Yeah.
So, the rap.
Again, the story, the storytelling, the camera placement is, to me, this is when I say cinematic, this is kind of what I mean, right? If you imagine a TV show or a movie, we have a really dynamic angle of where the camera is being placed and the scene is being framed out. Just this lone character as he's walking across. We're getting kind of closer. We're seeing all this stuff in the foreground, and then you just kind of slowly pull up on his face, right? And then pull back again. The rats are gone. It's just that's movie storytelling to me.
Mm-hmm.
But it works so good in this kind of comic. And that again, that's a lot smaller than we saw at the very beginning of the book, but it also holds such like majesty, like mystery. That's I'm very impressed.
Magical.
Mhm.
This captures the feeling of
That's
magic to me. It's just absolutely gorgeous storytelling, and there's not many words here, and you kind of
right.
you are so drawn in. You can tell what's happening, and then we go into this flashback. And also, I want to say
Changing the
too,
colors.
the way that he does stonework, all the rocks, all the walls that we've seen so far on buildings or in the areas, it's just incredible to me. So
Yeah, it's amazing.
I know it's a really odd thing to look at when there's so many
That's
other
what we're
things
here for.
going on, but
Yeah, pull out the textures. You don't really dive into that.
look at that.
I mean, he must have so much fun drawing this character. Just look at that. So that is what's fun to draw.
Mhm.
Everybody. Like drawing in general is fun. Telling a story is fun. But when you can actually just go balls to the wall and draw something like this and do it multiple times throughout the book, that's what's fun. You can tell when someone's having fun in their book just by the way that the art's coming out. Silver Ogre said that has to be that has the lens flare, but since it isn't overused, it gives more impact for the cinematic feel. No, I agree. Lens flare can definitely be overused. It's an effect that definitely can be. If you use it correctly, I think it definitely hits right. Yeah, it looks more like an album cover. Yeah, I could see that. I thought the same thing when we saw the zombies kind of look like an album cover, But modern comics have taught me that comics need pages and pages of exposition. yeah, that's where they fall. That's where it falls short. I think that's where comics in the 80s, the 90s, 60s, 70s, whatever. You go far. There was a point in time where this is why comics were fun. It was a lot more action. These are action. Even though there's story beats and there's great cinematography, if you want to call it that, within the art, there's just a lot of fun action to keep you interested. I want to write action books. That's what I want to do. Oh, look at that. Kayla, you're muted.
Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't realize.
No, you're fine. I was like, I see you down there. I think you're talking. No.
I was just talking about how great everything is.
Oh,
And just I was just saying, oh my god, this page is fucking crazy. I love this. The explosion. This is hero pose. This is so heroic. It's so captivating. So
the energy used with just the different line work, the different shapes, just really conveys the impact of this scene. I mean, I could see this. I mean, I could see it moving. Like it's done that well. Like I can see the energy going. By the way, we got 31 people in here. Appreciate you guys checking us out tonight. Just appreciating Comic Book Art Live. If you haven't yet, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the 4 people watching us over on Rumble. We appreciate you guys. We are looking at Battle Chasers issues 5 through 9 by Joe Mad. This is part 2 of the series. If you guys missed it, please go back and check out part 1 where we look at issues 1 through 4. He only ever did 9 of these issues, so we wanted to really take some time and dive into it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
It really is. It really is. He does a great job even with the talking panels. You know, like that kind of stuff can be, like Henry said, it can be extremely boring when you have to do, you know, actual storytelling. But the way you can draw it, you can keep it dynamic. You can keep the shots on the face, you know, intimate, intense, you know, whatever. He does a great job of doing all that.
I love the random hand there.
Mhm. And then I
The
like just how
rotating.
I like the oh damn it, let me back up. I like how you go through all of that, and then the very bottom panel is just a very simple. It's not so much a silhouette. I mean, it kind of is a little bit, which is very simple though. You go through all that crazy detail, all that impact, and then just this really quick, just kind of simple panel at the end here showing the break. Like that's cool. Just to pull out
Yeah,
of all of that and just give that a rest for a second.
you see what's going on in that smaller inset panel that is in between those 2 panels,
Yeah.
and that connects back to the top. So
I love the paneling on this left-handed page. Just again, how it just winds you through, takes you through, ending with that awesome silhouette there at the bottom. Both panels actually, both pages have silhouettes at the bottom. That's interesting.
what's interesting is usually, you know, the top 3 panels, how they have that black background. Usually I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of that
Let me back
in
up
a
here.
lot of comics. But in this one, it looks great and it adds to the storytelling. It's
Like
actually interesting. Yes. Like
the
when they
chunk
put
of
like
black in the back,
yes,
separating
or they do
everything.
like a chunk of white behind it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind
See, I
of
love that. I love when comics do that. As long as it's done
when
right,
it's
you
done
know.
correctly. This is
Yeah.
an example of it being done correctly. A lot of times people do it and it just doesn't work because it doesn't add anything to the story. This
Yeah.
issue, I think, is not as dialogue heavy and not as narration heavy as other issues. But my favorite 2 things here are those last 2 silhouettes on the bottom of each panel.
Yeah. Yeah. I really love them. Like, and you know us here, if you guys follow the channel, you know we love silhouettes here.
Silhouettes and eye panels for me.
Yeah.
That is, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's fun
absolutely.
textures there. Fun textures,
Mhm.
nice pose, a lot of energy.
I wonder.
What are you
Just like
wondering? What are you thinking?
looking at the texture, it just kind of looks like someone took a brush and just like plopped it down
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, or you know, maybe some paper towel or toilet paper, just blot it here or there, and then you can go back in and kind of fine tune it with some lines if you want, or just a little bit of a dry brush at the end there. I mean, I'm sure the one thing I like about inking that I really get into is the different things you can do inking that you can't do penciling, and it's definitely 2 different techniques. I have a slightly different style when I draw when I ink than when I just pencil, because there's different textures, there's different effects they can do with the ink, and I'm way more experimental when I'm inking. And just doing stuff like that is kind of fun. I've seen people use their fingerprint sometimes and just
Oh,
like blot stuff, you
can
know.
you go back one before
Yeah.
this here? Because there's something that I think that he did that was interesting. So no, you were fine right here. It's fine, perfect. So the size of the creature, the perspective, again on the opposite page, it was
we're going
just
there. Okay.
phenomenal. I love what he does with the sizing, and I think you mentioned that earlier too. But I
Yeah,
love how
yeah.
he shows the sizes of everything.
That
And
panel right
then
there.
yeah, and then also too the look on Gully's face as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not just fear, it's also hope that's being
Yeah.
conveyed here.
It's
At
it's
least to
very,
me.
it's a fantastic scene as far as storytelling. You know, I mean, she's going to do something, you know, like if she, what does she say here? I know what I need to do now. You know, it's just yeah, it's got a look of, she's at peace with what she's about to do. It's this very dramatic scene. It's good storytelling. I think what's funny is I talk about not reading a lot of comics. I read a lot more comics than you guys think I do. But it's usually just not the thing that interests me. This show has actually got me more into wanting to read more than I ever had before, just because I'm diving so much into the art. We have conversations live here. Both you and Sean read a lot more than I do when it comes to stuff. So, and also being a storyteller myself or writing, it makes me kind of actually pay more attention to some of the writing in comics. And I've really enjoyed it. Yeah, no one drinking coffee or doing LOL random cat humor. Yeah, no, we'll keep that away. Oh, great silhouette there though.
Yes.
Just
also
good.
On the panel on the left hand side, I like that running action and the slight panel break with the hand. Just very slight.
I love the motion that he's captured there in the silhouette of just the impact of the arrow, the feeling of the body just kind of like, falling over as it's being hit. Everybody's getting knifed in this scene. Like all the heroes are getting wasted in this scene. It's pretty cool. The double cross or whatever. Yeah.
That is so cool. That silhouetting there.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like the idea of getting a good silhouette. It doesn't have to be every page, depending on what the scene is, what calls for it. But I think if you can work in enough silhouettes in the book, I think it really does just help the storytelling. No way Garrison is going to die by that wimpy little knife. That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Good facial expressions there. Yeah, this panel here on the left bottom, or the bottom left.
Insane.
Yeah, again, just the impact. You can feel the impact. And that's what I love about the ground bursting, whatever you want to call it, dirt flying. I know that is very manga anime, stylized. And I like that. I love that aspect about it. I love panels that you can feel,
The dirt flying up, the debris coming down. It looks like it just works so well. That's another kind of like a type of heroic type of shot in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I would like to go through every one of these books again and just, count how many silhouettes per page, if there is one in each page going forward. Because I'd say damn near almost every page has some kind of silhouette, or at least every other page. And it works so well. Over the last year and a half or so, I've bought 68 CG books, a few Alien Legion trade paperbacks, and some other trade paperbacks from the second and Charles, but I haven't read any of it. Feel guilty.
It depends on why you're not reading any of it.
Well, you could also be like me too. You could be just like art first, So there's a lot of books I just flip through because I want to appreciate the art that I don't necessarily read right off the bat, and it takes me a while to read some, Plus, with Kayla, it's probably like you got to have the story to pull you in.
Yes, the story is important to pull me in, and I will say I'm at a 40-60 split between stories that are good and stories that are not good.
There you go. Got to bring the A games.
There's 40% of the stories from the books that I backed are decent stories or good stories. 60%, y'all need to step your game up.
I love how this issue ends.
Joe's like, you're done, Kayla. Stop.
I love how this issue ends. the look on his face when he realizes that, when he says father chose you, and he loses his hands, and it's just everything that he thought was going right, just goes wrong. And just the astonishment on his face, and just the what am I looking for here? The shock and sadness and everything. Like it's just, I like it. Very well done. There's the panel. Which one? Which one do we see? Unhanded.
Unhanded.
All right, this is it. This is issue 9. This is the last issue of Battle Chasers that Joe Mad ever drew. You're going to see in this issue, especially on the cover here, you can see some stuff where he did only in pencil. The characters in the background, I believe, were drawn in pencil and colored. The characters in the foreground, are drawn inked. It's kind of cool to have that combination. You see it a couple times in this book as well. Definitely see some experimenting around this time when it came to just going straight to the colors, which I think was becoming a little bit more popular amongst artists at this year, this round.
Absolutely beautiful.
Again, storytelling. Oh, okay, let me pause. Pause. The colors are great. I love just how saturated some of the colors are. The design of the page itself is fantastic. Just kind of how panels flow. We have floating panels. You got the giant silhouette at the bottom. You got the hand that doesn't have a panel, but it kind of stands on its own. I just love that. To me, that's the artistry of drawing a page, not just the way the art looks, but the way that the page is designed. Like that's the graphic design of a comic book artist. And I absolutely love that freedom to do that. Any book that's held too much into a grid, I feel when you look at that, you're not bored at a page like that, I guess is my point. Whatever you draw, I always want to make sure I'm drawing a page that is exciting and not boring to the reader, no matter what's going on in the story. How's the guy gonna jerk it now? He's gonna have to hire somebody. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna have to pay some money, unfortunately. Double nub it. I don't know if that would work. I could try, You could try. You could try.
I'm sorry.
That deserves. There you go. First one of the night. Definitely deserving.
Such a great. Yeah, I love both of these both of these pages.
Mm-hmm.
I love also too, one thing that I love that I feel like I don't see enough of it in today's comic books, or at least I don't see enough of it that's done well and that adds to the story, is on the left-hand side there. When you drop down to 1, 2, 3, 4, it's that oblong
on the left-hand page
panel, and how it goes up with and that's being used as the drop for the other panels, like the background for the other panels on that page.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep.
And how it connects into the other page with the fire that was done by the colorist. This is amazing. I love all this armor design. Yes.
The over-exaggerated huge armor, right? That doesn't look like it would even work in any sense in the imagination, but it looks so cool. And I think that's the bigger thing. Like all the people that want to do ultra realistic, well, how they move, how they fight, who gives a fuck? Does it look cool?
This looks cool
in the story. If it does, then let's roll with it, because that is just badass armor.
And I mean,
I was gonna say 40K armor. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yep.
I mean, this is a flashback too sequence here, so
yeah, that's just fun. This is a fun comic. That's what I love about this era of comic books. This was when comics were fun to read and collect and just get lost in, especially as an aspiring coming up.
So it's something I just realized now and noticed too, is what he does with Gully's hair during this series. If you notice, her hair is more pulled back, like it's more controlled, and then it goes to a looser, crazier kind of look for the course. So
the page on the left is actually the dude as a kid, as a boy.
Is it? I thought it was freaking Gully the whole time.
So did I until you actually read it. Yeah, because all the kid characters have a kind of like a feminine feel because of like the
Yeah,
anime
actually, no, that
manga.
makes sense. That definitely makes sense. So, like I
I
said,
mean,
I
think
haven't
about
read
it.
this
If you ever,
since
if
I
you
was a
see,
child. So,
I would say if you ever see a young boy that's got long hair, that their parents let their hair grow out, they look like girls, unfortunately, because they haven't matured yet. So it makes sense of how he's drawing it here. But you
I
can tell
mean,
by the hair design, the two little
well,
bangs.
they actually carried that over too
Yeah,
to that character. But
yeah.
either way, I thought it was Gully. I haven't read this in a very long time, like I said, since I was a kid. But
That's right.
yeah,
The rule of cool.
I always do notice hair. I can't help it.
You do.
So I always notice the hair. But even then, too, his hair is looser too.
Yeah.
So either way, even though they kept the pieces, that says something about the character.
Hair is important in comics. It is.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. I agree.
Now this is just cool. In
Look at that mouth. That's sick. That's fun.
the heavy, darker lines, too, really just accentuate the character and help him pop more out.
Yeah. And again, like this is the issue where he had a lot of help on the inkers. There was guest inkers and stuff. So it's interesting to see how some other guys handled his line work after seeing Joe Mad's line work for the majority of this series, inked by McWeeny. I think it's interesting to see another inker or a few different inkers take their turns. This right page, the page on the right,
Yes, it's incredible. But the
is
page on the
gorgeous.
left,
I just
that
skipped,
bottom
yeah, I
panel,
just skipped to it because I was just like, oh, this is so badass. And pause that there. Look
that
at
is
that.
absolutely beautiful.
It's so well done. I know a lot, a lot of it is colors too, kind of bringing it out, but just everything, the panel or the silhouette panel underneath it with the pinks and the purples, man, it pops so much. I'm so jealous of Liquid, but I gotta say, I love working with Dave Kemp. I think Dave does a lot of this kind of similar stuff with his technique. Enjoy this kind of colors.
Liquid was just another level.
They were, yeah. They absolutely, yeah, more silhouettes. Yeah, there's a
Mhm.
ton of it, a ton of silhouettes in this series.
The
It's
whole
inspired me to
series.
do more silhouettes going forward. 100%.
I think you should. I'm all
Yeah,
about it.
I already started to do more silhouette work in Reaper Destroyer as I was drawing it because I started getting
Cool.
pulled in that direction. But especially as some of the stuff I've seen lately with Joe Mod, what am I thinking? There's some other stuff we looked at lately that has some amazing silhouettes. Obviously, Silvestri. No, look at that. I love that. Just a little bit of the humor,
So cool.
I like how this
Snag a
big old
poop
character is
lives
just
here.
like, that's good.
The tapping.
Yeah,
The sound effects are great here.
little subtle
Right.
humor. I dig it.
This I love. Just again with the size proportion. I like how he's smiling so wide and everything too.
Mhm. Shell Martin said the moon's glowing. I think I'm going to do a comic with only full moons too. Yeah, you have to do
Mhm.
full moon. In my opinion, that's my opinion. All right, I'm
Moons
firmly in
or
the camp of doing full moons.
Crescent
I,
moons as well work very.
yeah, I know you're into the crescent moons and all that kind of stuff, and I think it definitely could. But for some reason, stylistically wise, shape wise, the full moon is just something that looks so good in a comic book.
I love the use of that blue through
Mm-hmm.
this whole comic, and even here with this the reds as well, for that glowing kind of what they do with that glow kind of effect. It's
Yeah,
just gorgeous. So
that is very beautiful. Smart because silhouettes are effective, but not time consuming to draw. Yeah, again, it's a little bit of a cheat. It looks great, but it's a little bit of a cheat. You can just, I mean, that's a panel you're not going to spend a lot of time on usually. Okay, here we go. So this
this
splash
is
page,
so cool.
I like the
Mhm.
technique they did here, right? So this kind of the Red Monica stuff in the background. I don't know if this is flashback stuff or stuff that's happening right now, or just the way he's experiencing it. But that's all drawn in pencil.
It's beautiful.
Whereas Garrison and a little bit of the debris in the background, that's all inked, right? So it just meshes. Like it's just a very interesting technique, and I think it pulls off what you're trying to do in that page.
It kind of, I don't know why, but
I
it
love
kind
that. See,
of, so the top half is like Bisley, almost like very Bisley-ish to some degree to me. It looks almost painted, even though you're saying it's pencil, but if it's like, was it a pencil or was it colored pencil? Like,
no,
or
this
what
was
kind of pencil was it used?
this would have probably been colored with the computer. It's just when
At
you
this
have
time period?
when you have pencil, it's not going to come out as crisp of a
It's a
line,
soft,
obviously, as ink does. So
softer, rounder.
right, so it almost has a feeling of like a painted feeling. The way that the colorist approaches it. Because you can't just cancel out the lines. You can thicken up lines as best as you can, but too much color is going to really cancel out those lines. So you gotta kind of color it in a different way, and it almost comes out in like this kind of painterly feel. If you looked at, what was it, the Ultimates 3, I
Mm-hmm.
think that he did, it had the same kind of feel, and because he went straight from
Yeah.
pencils to colors with that as well. It just gives a completely different dynamic to the way that the page looks in general.
Just gorgeous.
Her tits are particularly breaking the
on
fourth
the right
wall.
on the right side.
Yeah. The 98 computer colors were standard by then. Yeah. Again, I liked how they did that. Yeah, yeah. I spent a little time, trust me, focusing in on it a little bit, like good ripping there. Monica versus Lady Death. Those would be some big booby women.
I
That's
think
for sure.
Monica has her beat. So
Oh. Okay, here you go. This is
that
it.
is
This is how it ends. But what a beautiful page for
beautiful.
it to end on.
And a cliffhanger for God knows how many
For
years.
how many years was it? 20 years?
I think so. I mean, I can't even be sure. All I know is damn, I guess I really don't have a right to ever say anything about my Song of Ice and Fire books, or no one should.
For waiting that long for it to be picked
Hasn't
back up.
been that long yet, and at least
Yeah,
he's
it's
the one
true.
writing it. I mean, now that the story is back, he's not drawing the interiors.
Yeah.
So you waited
And
all
so
that time, and
essentially we're still kind of waiting, to be honest with you, because I'm waiting for the day where Joe Mad returns and draws at least an issue. Come back and draw an issue.
covers,
I mean, covers are great and everything, but I want this,
interiors. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what a hell of a page to end on. I'm sure he didn't know at the time he was not going to do another issue. Maybe he did. I don't know, but like a good cliffhanger and just a beautiful page.
And I love this on the back, on the right hand page.
Mm-hmm.
The sketchbook.
Oh, Sheldon said it was 16 months waiting for
Wait
issue
for
7.
issue 7. Yep, there was.
Okay.
Yeah, Henry, I mean, at least we'll be getting a book that he wrote after waiting for as long as we've been waiting, but that's fine. I mean, because it's not going to be someone else writing it.
Yeah, I mean,
In
at
this
least,
case,
yeah.
it's someone else drawing Battle Chasers. We got a couple covers.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like the sketchbook he puts in here.
I really was a big fan of the font that he used for the narration throughout the whole story too. It's just
Fantasy.
so fucking cool. See, I
Mhm.
want to see just look at his pencils. So the pencils that he uses colored pencils too, Joe. I fucking knew it.
Well, in these sketches, not on the actual pages.
I mean, how do we
In
know
this,
though?
well, you can kind of tell
I mean,
on the
I
actual
can't
pages.
tell. I mean, I can't tell, but
Because too much, I mean, you're not going to do too many colors because you're going to limit what the colorists can do when they go over, and it's probably not going to mesh very well. When you're just doing a sketch like this, he's using the colors primarily to show like lighting and shadowing, and I think you're going to see a lot of the colors, the colored pencils, are just the way he kind of utilizes certain colors, specifically
even
within
this
sketches.
here.
You can kind of get away with that with
Look at
sketches.
just pencils and everything. This is I need to see this, but there has to be just a pencil version of this book, or
Have
just
you-
an ink version of this book. I mean, I
Have you
don't
ever
know.
seen the pencil version of the Ultimates?
No.
I've got it. I've got a video where I just recorded. It was before we started doing the live show where I went over issue 1 of Ultimates 3. It's just the
Mhm.
penciled version, and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, of how he draws. It's just how tightly he draws, and just his different shading techniques.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I thought the dog was really cool, and if you read that a little bit, he's basically talking about just kind of drawing that from memory. I
The
think, but
realism. Holy shit.
yeah, that just shows you how good of an artist he is. I mean, yeah, he does this specific, kind of manga-ish anime style, but artist wise, like that's a hell of a good, realistic looking, you know, dog there.
Oh man, I just want him to release. Yeah, we need a version of it.
Oh, yeah.
These are just pen
We should make
drawings.
some money.
The
Like
talent. Holy crap.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like he did the 3 issues. It was all pencil, straight to colors. You can find the colored versions. You can also find just the penciled versions of those issues, although they are expensive. I only have one of them. I'd like to collect the other 2 or the other issues.
I want to see this though. I need to see this.
Specifically, yeah,
Yes.
specifically this would be great. And honestly, he should do that. I mean, with crowdfunding and all that stuff, or just in general, we should put out these specialized versions
That
of
looks
a
like
book in pencils.
straight up manga.
Yeah, this is way just this is right. Complete manga, everything.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
kind of
backstory.
it's kind of funny of them fighting and just how she's on top and I don't know.
Well, I mean, she trained him, so.
Oh, she trained him all right. You can tell she trained him all right. we can see that. And now that was really fun to go through, guys. So that was issues 5 through 9 of Battle Chasers. 2 weeks ago we did issues 1 through 4. If you are interested, watch both streams back to back and see 1 through 9 and just check it out. It's just fantastic books, fantastic works. If you're going to stop drawing and leave the comic book world, this I guess was the best way you could do it, because you absolutely went out on top. There's not a weak spot in that series of 9 issues, I don't think.
No, not at all. It's just absolutely amazing book. And I have a newfound respect for Joe Mad after this, just because I think he is a master of perspective. How to train a dragon.
I got that. That's good.
Oh,
That's good. Trained him to increase his stamina.
the shirt is the real hero here, Henry.
Yeah, right.
The chat's the best.
You guys are great. That deserves a shot. Let's go. All you guys. That was great. All you guys. Awesome. Appreciate you joining us here tonight. As always, I have no idea what we're going to look at next week. I had some ideas. I might switch it up a little bit depending on what we're doing. I got something new in the works. I haven't really talked to anybody about. I'll talk to them behind the scenes and let them know what's kind of going on. I think it will be fun going forward. But yeah, we'll check out something. We'll check out something. It here. If you want some fantastic comic book art, come to this channel. Come to Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Check this out. Definitely watch this later. Comment below. I mean, I love to engage in people in conversation about these books after the fact. Yeah, this is it. I love it. Tacos. You know what? That's a great point. We missed it earlier.
It's Taco
Tuesday.
Tuesday. This is for Sean at home. Hope you did good. Taco Tuesday. Love it. Love it. Thank you for being here, everybody.
I will say, guys, if you get your ladies roses,
drop those tacos. Let's go.
Pennies work.
Oh, there you go. Interesting.
Pennies work when you run out of flower food. I've had these roses now almost I don't know, 3 weeks. It's past 3 weeks, so penny's work. They're still fresh. Mm-hmm.
Who knew that pennies?
It was some video I saw on X, Twitter X, whatever the hell.
Twitter X
nowadays. Twitter X. Some video of some guy doing some experiments with flowers, and I was like, I need to try this, and yeah, it works. It works.
Keep those tacos coming. Let's go. Let's go. Ding. Yeah. Wait.
So.
I need to do that for myself. If you caught that, that was the wrong thing.
I didn't even see what you did.
It's all right. Some of the
tired.
chat might have got it. Some of the chat might have gotten it. I see what you did, Sheldon. I didn't catch that first. I see what you did there. Very clever. Very clever.
They're not silk roses. I bought them. They're real roses.
Yeah, it's beautiful looking roses.
I bought them.
All right, I see a video where a guy uses a hammer to crush the bottom of the stem of the flower. Came back, and the flower came back to life.
What? I need to see this video. Find it and send it to me.
DM.
I am so interested.
DMs.
Just find it, tag me on it, whatever the case. So,
before we get out of here, guys, Reaper Destroyer is damn close to 70K.
So close.
Damn close. I don't think I picked up anybody while we were streaming. I'm just gonna refresh to see.
$100.
$100 away from 70K. Like, that's insane. I'm extremely excited, not just for that, but I'm extremely excited for the 1,168 backers, more than I thought I would ever get on this project. I'm so glad everybody likes it and are coming out and checking it out. I'm working with Dave right now, my colorist. We're going over all the color corrections and all that stuff, making sure everything is absolutely perfect before we can send it on to lettering and then to get printed and everything. But we are so damn close to getting this book out. I'm very excited to get going on this. I say this all the time. If you guys are new to the channel, if you guys like what we look at here, this stuff is very much based off of my love. I say my love for the 90s, even though it's not a 90s book. It's where I came up with it. It's storytelling wise, art wise, influence wise, is where this story comes from. It's very much a dark anti-hero story, but probably different than you might expect, and probably unique to something things that you've read before, I'll say. I don't want to go into much detail on it because I'll go into spoilers, but this is, if you like Spawn, if you like the darkness, you're going to love this. But if you think it's going to be Spawn in the darkness when you read it, it's going to be something completely different and I think unique. I think you guys are going to dig it. Amazing talent on this book. I am the artist. I've got legendary inkers, Joe Weems and Matt Bat Banning on here. Also, Marlo Aquiza, who was an Extreme Studios guy. If you ever saw the Extreme Studios or Maximum Press back in the day, you would usually probably see Marlo on the covers because he did a lot of inking back then. Fantastic work with those guys. Dave Kemp does the primary colors on this book. I also have Kyle Ritter came on and did a few of the pages as well before he had to drop off the project. But fantastic talent all around in this book. Very, very happy with what we achieved on this. And I can't wait for you guys to get out and actually read and dive into the story and, let's go forward with it. I can't wait.
Because you're the writer of the book also.
I'm the writer of the book also. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I keep forgetting that. You're
like, I'm the artist. You're the overall creator of this universe.
Yes. We do have a supplemental book on the campaign with a story written by Kayla, our very own Kayla there, with art by Fabio Simo and colors by Dave Kemp. We were talking earlier about Joe Mad and going straight from pencils to colors. This is actually what we do in this story. Fabio did this in pencils. I was thinking about having an inker ink over him, but I really liked what he did on the pencils so much. We ended up just going straight to colors, and I think it worked out very well.
So strong too.
Yeah, very, very strong. And the way that Dave handled them in the colors, I think just adds to that fantasy element that we were going for with this specific story that Kayla wrote. No actual nudity, just had to censor it for IGG. Didn't want the campaign taken down for any reason, but supplemental book has that backup story, has a backup story that I wrote. First time I acted as just a writer and had somebody else draw the project, which was actually pretty fun. And Oliver Isabedra is a fantastic artist. one of my favorites right now. Like I see this dude's work and I get jealous. Like I study it. I'm like, fuck, like this is so damn good. I love it. Did this backup story of a character named Apophis that you will meet in the main book as well. So check it out, guys. $100 away from 70K. Let's see if we can hit that sometime soon. Links are down below for that. Sean is not here today, but I will give him a shout out.
Yes.
With his book, Type 1. Here we go.
Don't be a bum. Back Type 1, everyone.
Yes. Best tagline, I think, comes from Sean Ahrens.
7,000 too. So
yeah, he's very, very close to 7K. 107 backers. We need to get that to 7K. If you guys haven't backed this book yet, please check this link out. Please consider backing it. Fantastic looking book. Again, Sean is a co-host on this channel, and this comes from the same place that mine does. You know, we both grew up in the 90s. Like that's our storytelling. This is stuff that influenced us, inspired us. We want to make fun comic books. That's what we are about here on this channel. So let's make fun, good stories, but fun comics. Let's get back to the action aspect of it, the fun fantasy. Let's get away from the exposition, as Mike is saying. Yeah, check this out. Links are below. Fantastic work. I get to see this book as it gets created, which is awesome, and I can't wait for you guys to see it and read it. Check it out. I do have a cover. If you want to back the cover, I am working on it. It's an actual cover, guys. I swear. I'm up and tweaking Reaper Destroyer, trying to make that the priority. But as soon as I get a chance, I have to do the cover for Sean. It's not actually going to be my face, but if you guys want to back my cover, and also there's a donate a book tier. If you guys don't know, this is kind of a character that deals with diabetes. Sean actually is a very personal story to him, is he deals with diabetes as well. So it's kind of inspiring, I guess. And he's got a tier on here. If we can get books bought and donated, he'll donate these to kids with juvenile diabetes. And Kayla, it will not rest until we get 100 books donated. We got a little ways to go. But one thing I did talk to Sean, I think he's still going to do this. I'm going to throw it out there. I think he'll be fine with me saying this. I think they're going to actually increase this to $25 is actually going to donate 2 books.
2 books.
It's just one. Is it 3?
I think it's 2.
2, yeah. The $25 is actually going to get you, if you donate a book for $25, you're not getting the book. It's going to go to a kid, but instead of just one, it's actually going to be 2 books. And I think he's going to find something that he's going to send to the donators as well, just for donating. So I'll let him talk more about that when he gets back. But I think it's a great cause, inspirational. I think with everything he's doing, the JDRF Foundation, just solid stuff from Sean.
Yes.
Put that Raiden hat on the cover. Ooh, that's a good idea. I like it. Ronin Joe variant cover win. Now, see, now you got me thinking. There should be a custom cover. I'm thinking of Reaper Destroyer here. Have a custom cover with Reaper Destroyer guest starring Ronin Joe on a cover variant. I think I'm gonna make it happen. I think
For
that's
book 2.
awesome. Yeah, for book 2. Yeah. Not for book 1. For book 2, we might do that just for the chat. Maybe I'll just make it an exclusive for the chat.
That would be cool. And they have like a secret chat link.
Have a secret tier. Exactly. Have a secret tier. I could just drop in the chat. It'd be specifically for people in the chat. You could get that. It'd be rare collectible.
Or you could do some kind of sketch for people that are channel members.
Oh.
There's a lot you could do.
There are things I'm going to do for the actual channel members going forward. So if you guys don't know yet, when I launched Reaper Destroyer 2, I'm going to do it for my own website. I'm going to follow the lead of Bancroft and Mandy Summers and Ahrendt, and all these people are going to their own websites and doing it that way instead of going like to GRD. That's a radio station around here. IGG or Kickstarter. I'm going to start out doing a actual website where we're going to crowdfund from. And I think I'm going to have discounts to all the members that are members of the channel. So they'll have secret tiers to go in and get discounts on everything that the campaign will have to offer. Yeah, there'll be just a code. So I'm definitely going to do that for the channel members. For the people that spend $4.99 a month, appreciate you so much. I want to give back something as much as I can. So I think we're definitely going to have some kind of really cool discount for the next time we launch for the channel members. So just stay tuned. Got lots of things happening. All right, on stuff. Thursday at 8. Wait, no. Thursday at 10, we'll be back with MSK. Very, very fun guy to talk to. I've been on his show many times. So join us. I think it'll be a good time. We'll be back here Tuesday at 10 for some awesome art, as we always do. Kayla, is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nothing. I have nothing to say.
I like
I'm not doing anything important. I mean, I am doing important things.
You're doing
behind
some
the scenes.
important
Behind the
things.
scenes.
You're doing some, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be here next Tuesday. I don't think I'm streaming with anybody else this week. So, yeah. Be getting my own channel up and running soon.
Yes, let's do that. Quick. We missed the Kayla Cuts Deep.
The Ronin supplemental. Have me write it.
There you go. Yeah. There you go.
It's a man who breaks away from his band. A Japanese man and
you
becomes
too,
a
Hail
trained
Lord.
assassin.
Oh, see, you got her spinning. All right, everybody, we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining us to chat. You were amazing. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're watching this live, you're watching it later, please hit the like button. Comment below. Let's engage in conversation. Let's have a good time. Until then, everybody be good to each other. Take care of one another. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
He should do his duty, and to impress him, takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, to destroy the world."
Going down, how about a little reaction, man? You can barely stand this life's slow attack, man. That was practically suicide. Next in line. Get ready to settle the score, and get ready to face the floor, 'cause it's time to remember it. This is war, and it's on tonight, so get up and fight, get up and fight. You had all your life to run and hide. Let's step up, let's do this. About ready to break it, we're all about ready to break it, we're all about ready